These three scooters are going to change the way you look at electric scooters. The Hooga Daytona, the Teverun 7260R, and the RS Midnight. This looks like Batmobile with two wheels. And I'm not here to pick a winner because each one is a top dog for a different kind of rider. So the Hooga Daytona is built for tall riders, someone that is bigger and is looking for something comfortable when you're riding 40 miles of range every day. So when I'm riding a scooter, I do not want to feel cramped. So what I mean by cramped, if you watch online and some riders, they're riding very fast. When they're riding, they're constantly doing this. And that's not what I want to feel. I'm 6 feet tall and I'm around 220 pounds. So when I'm riding a scooter, I want my handlebar to my elbow is relaxed when I'm riding. 1 foot forward, 1 foot at the back. I bend my knees when I have to, when I'm riding fast, but I do not want to be cramped up all the time. If you are above 200 pounds like myself, and you like to go 40-50 miles per hour without feeling any kind of wobble, you like the 13-inch tires, it's rough terrain for breakfast, you like to go both street terrain and off-road terrain at the same time, this will be the vehicle made for you. Now we go to the Teverun Fighter Supreme 7260R. This one's about sheer range and power. With a 72 volt 60 mAh battery, you are looking at the range king right here. If you ride 30 plus miles in one session, or if your roads have hills, or if you want that violent pull past 50 miles per hour, this is your beast. If your group rides last all day, this is the scooter that doesn't tap out. Now this is the Inmotion RS Midnight. Same 72 volts, 40 mAh battery pack as the Hooga Daytona, but it's completely different. It's nimble, it's adjustable, it's height adjustable, and it fits most cars. If you are the kind of rider who daily commutes and you want the hyper performance without all the bulk, and you live in the city, the Inmotion RS Midnight is perfect for you. All three scooters are available at our Huntington Beach location. You can come by and test ride them back to back. And within 30 seconds, you will find out which one is perfect for you. Today we'll measure all three hyper scooters, and we'll start off with the Inmotion RS Midnight. We'll measure everything under the sun, so that when you see this video, all the measurements will be in this video. Okay, first up, we'll measure handlebar to ground height. 50 inches. Okay, awesome. The handlebar to deck height. Yes, be straight. We have
40 inches.
40 inches. Awesome. Now we measure handlebar width from end to end. Now we'll measure handlebar end to end. 29 inches. Awesome. Now we'll measure deck side to side.
10 inches.
Awesome. Now deck to ground clearance, 6 inches. Nice. Now from the rear wheel all the way to the front. And remember, the Inmotion RS, you can adjust the deck to ground clearance because of the way the scooter is designed. The deck to ground clearance of 6 inches can be adjusted.
Wow.
47 inches to axle. Front of the deck to the end of the deck. This is the amount of space you have when you're riding.
22.5 inches.
22.5 inches. Okay, stay right here. Let's extend it all the way to the foot rest. So we have 29 inches including the rear foot plate. 29 inches of rideable foot space. Okay, let's move on to the next scooter, the Teverun Fighter Supreme 7260R. We'll start off with the handlebar to the ground.
Ground.
52 inches. Handlebar to ground. Let's measure handlebar to the deck. Okay, we want exact. Awesome. Okay, deck to ground clearance, have we measured it? Let's measure the deck to ground clearance. So the Teverun Fighter Supreme 7260R is slightly higher. It is higher than the Inmotion RS Midnight. But the Inmotion RS Midnight, it comes adjustable. So you can adjust the deck to ground clearance from a the least amount of height to the highest. But for the Teverun Fighter Supreme 7260R, it comes stock 7 inches and you cannot adjust it. Now can we measure from the front end of the wheelbase to the rear? Straight.
58 inches.
58 inches handlebar end to end. Let's measure that. 25 inches width. The handlebar, you can change it for other handlebars. You just need to make sure you know how to adjust the position of the brake levers and the throttle and the display. Let's measure the length of the deck. We'll measure front of the deck to end of the deck. 22 inches. Now measure the kick plate with the kick plate all the way to the end. Okay. 26 inches of rideable rear estate. So now measure side to side. 10 inches. This is rideable space. But measure from end to end. 12 inches. Awesome. Okay, so for anyone looking to purchase the 7260R, this is the dimensions that you have to deal with when you're putting in the car. Okay, so now let's move on to the latest and greatest, the Hooga Daytona. So first off, we'll measure the deck to ground clearance. Let me put it on the even ground. So let's measure handlebar to ground. 55 inches, bro. That's very tall. It's adjustable, so you just need to unscrew to knock it down. It's adjustable. But out of the gate, the Daytona is meant for bigger riders and taller riders. Okay, now let's measure ground, deck to ground clearance. Is it straight? Yeah, okay, perfect. I want bottom of the deck to the ground, 7.5 inches. So right now the Daytona has the tallest deck to ground clearance of all 3 scooters. Now let's measure the handlebar to deck. Okay, let me straighten the scooter. 43 inches deck to handlebar height. Okay, now let's measure the front end of the deck to the rear. Yeah, up to here. 24 inches. Now let's measure all the way to the kick plate. I'll try to do it straight. Without this. So I want it straight. Yeah. 30 inches of rideable rear estate. Amazing. This has pretty much the largest deck space that you need if you have a bigger feet like Shaquille O'Neal. So have we measured side to side? Side to side. Awesome. Did we cover everything yet? The length. How about front of the scooter to the rear? Have we measured it yet? Okay. Let me hold it. Okay. So the wheelbase, 60 inches length. So that's very long. Alright, so these are the measurements for all 3 hyper scooters. I think that's all. Good already.